Hey there YouTube, welcome back to a very late video. I've got to apologise for the time that I'm late. I think I'm about probably 3 weeks late on a normal 2 weekly video. We have a little bit of a cat update. She's decided to change her place that she sleeps now. So she used to sleep over in that corner. She's now moved over to that box there. And at the moment she decided to perch in between two boxes of paint, which can't be comfortable. You can hear her purring away there. She's obviously quite happy, but you can see I suppose you could call this black powder stroke cat update. Last night when I went to bed, this was all nice and tidy, and you can see the chaos that ensues because it looks like a bomb's hit it. Anyway, I have actually managed to paint something. It took me a long time to do, so I'm going to swing the camera across and show you what I did. There we go. A unit of Chassuers de Cheval, the fourth Chassuers de Cheval to be exact, which is maybe not the cleverest of things to decide to paint when you've got horse painting block. I'm just going to move the camera just a little bit just to centre them up. There we go. Yes, these guys, so happy that they're all finished. I finished them yesterday, late last night actually. I gave them their sort of final touch, which was a coat of varnish. A little bit earlier in the day I based them, and first thing in the morning I completely finished them off by sticking the last, what would it be, the last 6 horses to their stands. I had basically, because what I tend to do is I tend to stick one horse to a base, stick the others onto those milk bottle tops, which I actually found to be a little bit annoying this time. The horses kept falling over when I was painting them. They're all quite well stuck down, but they still decided to keep tipping over, which when you've got horse painting block doesn't exactly spur you on to getting them done. But I reckon I would say that probably the majority of the time that my video is late is because of trying to finish the horses. I struggled a little bit after finishing the horses to do the guys, but that only really lasted a few days, and once I'd done like 5 or 6 of the guys' base colours, I basically, knuckled down and just finished off base painting the last 6, so all 12 were done. And then after that, I actually kind of enjoyed finishing them off, to tell the truth. And I'm very happy that they're done. I think these guys are officially the longest one unit that I've ever taken to paint anything. They're also the oldest unit, time-wise, that I've owned that's been unpainted as well, because I literally got these guys a few weeks after getting the initial Waterloo starter set. But yes, I'm pleased I got them. These guys, the fourth Chassuers de Cheval, obviously I'm doing like 3rd core, and if we look in the Waterloo companion here, you'll see that these guys are literally the only part of the 3rd core that actually made it onto the Waterloo field. So if we bring up the old Waterloo companion here, 3rd Cavalry Division attached from 3rd Army Corps, and we can see that the 4th Chassuers de Cheval are there. We have the 9th and we have the 12th. Now, units I've done so far is I've done the 12th and I've done the 4th, so that leaves the 9th. If we go to my flags, which I have temporarily mislaid. But basically, when you buy the flags for these guys from GMB, you basically get those three flags. So you're basically covered with your first and second divisions. Here we go. So here we go. Here's the flag sheet that came from GMB, and you can see that we've got the 12th was down there, and then we've got, that's obviously the 2nd Brigade, and then the 1st Brigade is the 4th and the 9th. And the 9th, I decided not to paint this time round because they've got pink facings, but obviously they will have to be done at some point. So that sort of respect, I'm happy that it's continuing on this sort of very historical theme. And at least I've got something that was on the field at Waterloo. Because, like I say, the whole reason I kind of decided to go for the 3rd Corps in the first place was that when I was looking through GMB flags, I was looking specifically for a light infantry regiment. And I guess the first one I came across was 3rd Corps, so I decided to go for 3rd Corps, and I just kind of stuck with it, really. But yes, so let's go on to the horses here. So in sort of retrospect of sort of historical status, I'm quite happy. Although in some respects, I almost wish that I could go back in time and change my 12 Chassuers to the 9th and give them the pink facings. But yeah, anyway, they're on track anyway. So let's give you a closer look at these boys. Like I say, they took ages to paint, or at least the horses did. I think overall I'm pretty happy with them. Here's the first company. I actually remembered to do a proper first company this time. The first time I started, I was a little bit confused about sort of companies and stuff like that, and I didn't particularly snap on that a base is generally a sort of company of troops in sort of black powder scale, roughly. So at this time I did sort of remember, and we've got these rather spiffing looking chaps in their I can't remember what the hats are called. Anyway, Bobo's actually led on the box. Cold packs, are they? I think they're cold packs. Yes, so we've got these two rather elitist guys, you know, tromping along, looking very regal. Chestnut and a brown horse, or dark brown horse. And the terrain I decided to go for these guys is a sort of a trampled field. So you basically take your average field and you march several thousand troops across it and drag several hundred guns, and you're left with a trampled down, thinning, almost sort of barren, muddy field, which obviously when it's dry just looks like it's bowling, but you still get, obviously, because it's not dead, it's still actually you know, living organism, so you still get your flowers and you still get your little shrubberies growing, and that's kind of what I went for, and I think it turned out okay. I wanted to go for a different basing from just the normal green grass, and I temporarily lost my pack of flock, but I managed to re-find it for doing these, which I'm very happy with because I wanted to do this sort of base for them. So that is the first company. Go to the company at the back. So here we have two guys on dark brown horses. You can see that I haven't actually done their saddle thingies here. I was just trying to find out whether they've just got 4 on in Roman numerals, or whether they got 4 on a French eagle. I think they might have 4 on a French eagle. I'm not 100% sure, but I decided to leave them blank for now. So here we have another couple of gents. I was quite chuffed with how the yellow came out. I just did my bog standard way of doing yellows, which is basically just yellow ochre as the base coat, and just kind of went over it with at the very late stages deep yellow, which is this colour here. There's the number if you particularly are into that. I think it came out okay. It sort of gave it that sort of like little bit of strike that I wanted, because obviously there's not, apart from their cuffs and their collars, that sort of stripe there is not particularly that easily sticking out really, but just that sort of yellow, like I say, the deep yellow just kind of made it strike out a little bit, which is kind of what I was after. So let's go on to the next stand. So here we have this stand has put like a big little bit of shrubbery on the stand here. This is to denote the fact that when I split them into two, this becomes the pseudo command section for that group of 3 stands. Because obviously the way that I play on a 4x6 table, it's a little bit impractical having 4 cavalry brigades running around, particularly for when they go into combat. So it's a lot more effective to actually split them into 2 smaller units of 3 stands. And I just needed something to sort of denote a kind of command stand. So this guy would be in the middle of the 3, even though there's obviously no rules for it in reality. But yeah, so there's those. You've got a chestnut and a brown horse. I went for all chestnuts and browns this time. Yeah, pretty chuffed with how they turned out. Just bog standard troops, nothing super special. That is the second unit, or the pseudonym command squad, for when they split. Next up, the actual command squad. Now, obviously, with this being a warlord full box set and not just the one that came in the starter, you do actually get command with these boys. So we've got the officer, which I think is a great officer figure. I wasn't massively impressed with his face, but it's not too bad. I found this, well, it's the site I always use. It's like a French site, which is great for Napoleonic stuff. I can't remember its name. Perhaps in my next video, I don't even have my phone on me, so I can't even show you on there. But I went to their page, I found the unit, clicked on it, and it gives really good uniform colours for officers and enlisted men. And even in the Chassuers case, even what colour their saddle, the officer's saddle blanket was. And originally I was going to do it yellow and silver, but I actually found out it was green and silver, so that's kind of cool. Saved me a historical faux pas there. But yeah, I really do like this. I always like painting officers, to tell the truth. And this guy is certainly no different. And I suppose the big thing about the big difference that I realised is that the Chassuers, where the infantry, and there's my cat causing chaos again. What have you knocked off, girl? Not sure. The officers, sorry, going back to what I was saying, the infantry officers use gold braidings to denote their rank, where the Chassuers de Cheval seem to use silver pauldrons and lace to show their rank. So we have the Chassuers officer in a lot of silver braiding and silver epaulets. I suppose it goes better with green. But yeah, that's the officer. And next to him, the trumpeter. You do actually get a metal body which you can use as a trumpeter, but I decided to use a plastic one because I thought that, you know, if this trumpeter decides that he wants to carry a carbine, he can, because obviously he's only got a sort of a trumpet. He obviously has his sword, which I had to make out of plastic putty because it comes with an empty sword scabbard. So, and of course he's got the reverse colours, so he's quite a cool figure he turned out in the end. And of course he's on a probably about as light grey as you can go. I went for this time for horses. He's practically white, but I suppose in a way that these two horses were probably the only two horses that I really enjoyed painting. The Palomino for the officer and the extremely light grey for the trumpeter. So that's him. Next up, the last unit of regular troops. So here we go. We got again a chestnut and a dark brown horse. Just bog standard troops. Slightly different head positions. Nothing super special, but cool looking troops all the same. So that's them. And then finally, to finish up, we have the standard unit, or the colour party. So again, a standard trooper there. The metal body used for the standard guy. Again, I put his sword into his scabbard. This guy is not carrying a carbine this time because I thought that out of between the trumpeter and this guy, the trumpeter is probably the guy that is going to have a chance to fire a carbine, if at all. And the flag bearer, who actually more or less has to hold the standard all the time, has a lot less chance of being able to use a musket, a carbine at all. So he has the just the sword, but obviously I'm sure in reality he probably has a pistol or two. And the standard that came with this guy was probably, even in comparison to the pathetic size of Parry's standards, was ridiculous. I mean, it was so small that this flag wouldn't even fit on it. So I had to come up with something drastic, and what I did in the end was I managed to find a large paperclip floating around. I cut the standard off either end of his hand. I cut the eagle off it. I pinned the eagle to a length of the paperclip that I snapped off, and I drembled through his hand and made him my own standard. So I'm pretty chuffed at how that came out, even though it's just a little bit off straight at the very bottom there. But very happy with that standard. And I think he's on a chestnut horse. Got another dark brown horse there. And little bits of shrubbery and stuff on the base. A nice assortment of different coloured flowers. And of course a uncovered shako for the guy next to him. I suppose what I should have done was I should have given him an uncovered shako too, to make it a little bit more regal. But yeah, so that is the last unit. So that's it. That's the end of this update. 18 minutes, a lot longer than I normally do. I suppose I could ramble on for another few minutes. I'm still, like I say, last time I spoke to you guys, I was talking about my dwindling Napoleonic supplies. They still are dwindling. I literally have a bunch of brigade commanders and one set of British guns, or one battery of British guns left. My next sort of planned project is the Hanoverians. I'm still in and ahhing as what to do with them. I keep changing my mind every 5 minutes, which is kind of stopping me from actually going ahead and doing it. I'm probably going to have to wait a month, budget-wise, if I decide to go the Victrix route. I think that's probably still winning at the moment. A box of centre company, a box of flank company, that will allow me to complete both the regiments of Hanoverians that I have left to do, and leave me with enough spare figures so that I can either try and do the two historical the other two historical units of Hanoverians, which I haven't done because when I originally did my starter set, I did them as the PNA and the Griffhorn divisions or battalions. So I may well. I suppose I could just reflag them. I mean, all I have to do is just rip the actual colours of the regiment off and swap them over. But I can't remember if I think for starters I haven't got the two regiments that I need as flags on that warlord sheet, which could cause problems because obviously if I go to another company they're going to be completely different looking flags. So I don't know. I mean, I still might just stick with those two units and have it a little bit unhistorical, just because it would be just such a massive undertaking to try and. I'll have to, if I did decide to do that, I'd have to change all my Hanoverian flags because they'd all look different. That would be quite an expense and quite annoying. So I don't know. I mean, at the moment, I think I might just go with the two two historical units, and then keep my two unhistorical units, and then I'll still have loads of troops left, so that I could theoretically. I don't think there's any more British units left in the actual whole army. What's the word? Division, I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, the 3rd Infantry Division. I think I've done all the British units. Yeah, we've got King's German Legion, and then we've literally got. I mean, there are a whole bunch of light Hanoverian units in the 1st Hanoverian Brigade, so theoretically I could do some of those. Although, obviously, the non-rifle ones. Or I could go for some King's German Legion out of these spare troops, so that would be quite handy. But again, I haven't really decided, but I probably am urging towards the Victrix route, I think. I don't know if any of you guys out there have had any experience with Victrix. Please feel free to put down in the comments if you liked them or didn't like them, because I've been hearing lots of mixed things about them, and it's those that keep sort of changing my mind whether to go for it or not. But yeah, anyway, enough rambling, enough dawdling, enough cats. Just to give you a final update on Bo. There she is, asleep. I wonder if, hopefully this won't become a new sleeping spot, because it's stopping me from getting to 1.5 boxes of my paints. Anyway, I hope you're all well out there. I've not been too bad health-wise. I had a little bit of a health issue which stopped me painting for 3 or 4 days, but that was kind of a pretty minor thing for me. I've been watching all your videos. Haven't always been commenting. I tend to be one of those guys that if there's no reason for me to comment, I won't. It's not anything personal. It's just I guess it's just me, really. I'm one of those people that, you know, I wouldn't just stick a comment for the hell of it, sort of thing. But you know, generally, I do comment on most of you guys' videos, but I do enjoy watching them all, obviously. So until next time, it will be a complete mystery as to what I'll be doing. It may well be late again because just because of all the chaos of this mega over late update itself, but it'll definitely be up at some point, and I'll catch you all later. Bye.